viewers, how are you all? Very fine, right? Okay, so today's lesson is Jody's. This is Jody's fawn. What is fawn? The young one of deer. Okay, the young one of deer, we call it as fawn. Fawn. So, animals and humans have always shared a unique bond. If you have pets, you would understand there is something special about the way that pets bond with us. You know, the story that I am about to tell you is about a boy's compassion for a young fawn. Let's start with the story. It's called. So, before I tell you the story is written by Marguerite. And Marguerite Keane Rawlings was an American author, lived in countryside of Florida. Okay, she wrote novels describing the rich and the natural setting, and he won a Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 1939. So, shall we move on to the story? Yes? Yes. In this story, Jody's father, okay, one young boy, his father has been bitten by a rattlesnake. He quickly kills a dove and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. What is dove? Female deer. Okay. So this boy's father is bitten by rattlesnake. So to cure that, he killed a female deer and uses its hearts and liver to draw out the poison. Now Jody wonders what will happen to the little fawn without a mother. And this deer has a fawn, his young one. So this boy is looking at that fawn. And so let's read the story piece by piece. Okay, this is very simple and touching story of a young boy, Jody, and I am going to give a short summary regarding this lesson. Please listen carefully. This Jody, who is ready to bear all the hardships to find the fawn and raise it. Okay, and this lesson conveys the message that we humans should have feelings of love and compassion towards animals. Lesson focus on values of empathy and care for animal. It's also bring out the pain and separation and guilt. So, this Jody noticed that the dove, little one of the fawn, was left all alone in the world. The thought of this fawn kept haunting Jody's mind after he returned to his house. When his father was resting on the bed, Jody went up to him and he asked with his father if he could bring the fawn home. Okay, but this father at first, his name is Penny, did not give his consent. And Jody assured his father that raising the fawn would not be a problem. He was ready to sacrifice everything. That means his share of milk for the fawn until the fawn was big enough to eat leaves and other things. Okay. So he also told his father it would be ungrateful to leave the fawn to die. At last, Penny agreed to what Jody said and gave his permission to bring the fawn home. And also he said that to ask his mother permission whether he will brought this fawn to home or not. Jody then talked to his mother and managed to convince her to bring the fawn. Okay, and now there is another character is introducing, that is Dr. Wilson, who was attending this Penny. Who is Penny? This young boy Jody's father. Okay, also agreed. This man also encouraging Jody's and The Jyoti's view when he said that it would be ungrateful to leave the fawn to starve. Like that, he said at that time, this man, Dr. Wilson, also agreed to that. Okay, and Melville volunteered to go with Jody to the forest. So both went, Melville and Jody. While they were on the way to the forest, Jody expressed his concern about finding the fawn. He also asked Melville if he could help him to find the fawn. When Melville asked him, how did he know the fawn was a male? For that, Jody replies that the spots on the fawn were all in a line. Okay, so spots on the fawn, that young one fawn is, right? So in that body, the spots was in a line, so it indicate fawn was male. Okay, so when they finally reached to the forest, Jody wanted to be on his own. He asked that you no need to accompany me. I will try myself, like that this Jody said. But this Melville was very frightened. Okay, he did not agree. Why this Jody wanted to be on his own means, if the fawn was dead or could not found, Jody did not want Melville to see his disappointment. And second thing, if he found the fawn, it was so lovely. He did not want to share his happiness to anyone else. So Jody asked Melville to go. But this Melville was so afraid to leave Jody alone. He feared that Jody might get lost in the forest or bitten by a snake. However, assured Melville that he would take care of himself, so Melville returned. Okay, so now Jody was all alone, and Jody began his search. Always searching for this fawn in the forest. He first came across the carcass. C-A or C-A-S. So what is carcass means? The dead body of that deer. Okay, one female deer dead, right? So dead body is called as carcass. So the fawn could not be found nearby. He tried to look for the small hoof prints, but in vain. After a while, he spotted the fawn. So Jody was overjoyed to see the fawn. The animal was trembling, but it made no effort to rise or run. Jody took that in his hand on the soft neck of the fawn. He felt very happy to feel the fawn. He stroked its sides very gently and then he lifted the fawn. He feared that the sight of the mother's carcass might agitate the fawn, and so he took another route. It was difficult to walk. He carried the fawn also, am I right, in his arms. So it was very difficult for that boy. When he came to the road that would take his home, he stopped to rest because it was very heavy and this boy also very young. And after that, he put the fawn down as he was very tired. The fawn bleated and looked at Jody. At that time, Jody remembered his father's word. His father told him that a fawn would follow if it had first been carried. So he started walking slowly. The fawn did not follow him. Okay, Jody was getting upset. Jody walked back to the fawn, stroked it and walked away again. Now the fawn followed Jody. Jody was filled with happiness. Finally, Jody reached his house with this fawn. So he carried the fawn and walked to his father's room to show him the fawn. Penny was glad that Jody had found the fawn. Jody offered milk to the fawn. The milk was in a gourd. The fawn could not drink it. Then Jody dipped his finger in the milk and thrust them in the fawn's mouth. The fawn drank the milk greedily. Okay. Then Jody lowered his fingers into the gourd. The fawn drank from the gourd with its eyes closed dreamily. Understood? Such a wonderful lesson, am I right? So this is the end of the lesson. At last, Jody brings this fawn to his home and he pampered very well and he gives all his food, and his parents also encouraged to do those things. So from this lesson we learned that we have to pamper animals. Okay, we have to be we as a human we should have feelings of love and compassion towards animals. Understood, dears? This is the end of the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.